Hello from Central Florida. I thought today would be a good opportunity to come on and talk a little bit about preparation and how to make sure your clinics or your practice is prepared for things that you might not expect, things that may come along that you don't necessarily think about happening. And so obviously being in Orlando, we have a hurricane that's heading our way and it's crazy pandemonium. Hi, Ashley. But the news reporting of hurricanes, it's crazy here. You go to gas stations, they're out of gas. You go to Walmart or Publix and they're out of bread. They're out of like such random things that you're like, why are people stocking up on these things for a hurricane? But how do you prepare your practice for this? I went through this 2 years ago where it ended up being pretty bad. One of my clinics was closed for an entire week because the power lines went down and, they went down a lot of places. So it took a long time for them to get them back up. But one of the things that really, really stressed me out as we were leading up to this hurricane is, what do I do for my employees? What are they going to do? Am I going to pay them? How am I going to pay them? We're going to be closed. Like what's going to happen here? And ultimately what ended up happening on the flip side, like after the hurricane was over, actually was a huge blessing. But my general liability insurance covered things like this, covered natural disasters like this. So I was able to actually recoup quite a bit of money, which really, really helped considering we were down and out for five business days in one of my clinics and then one in the other location. But also having a really good plan in your employee handbook. And it's really funny because I put together my employee handbook probably in 2012. So for two years ago when this hurricane hit, I'm thinking like, do I require my team to take PTO? Do I pay them? How much do I pay them? Like, kind of scrambling and running different scenarios through my brain. Well, lo and behold, in my employee manual or my employee handbook, I had a policy already established for that. So my policy was that they would be paid for the first 2 days that we were closed. And then after that, they would have to use PTO or unpaid time. So it ended up working out really, really well. And so today, as we're planning for this impending storm coming now, I'm not quite as stressed as I was 2 years ago because I know I have all of these things in place. So I know what to anticipate. My team knows what to anticipate. And looking at the weather, we did end up canceling or closing down both practices on Tuesday. Obviously, we're closed Monday. But they know they're going to get paid for it. And I know that I have a way to actually help do that and not be financially strapped. So bottom line, make sure that you plan for these unexpected things. Make sure that you have good policies and procedures in place so your team knows ahead of time. I feel for you guys that are up in the Northeast or, different climates that have snow and you have to close your practice a lot. Like, fortunately for me, at least hurricanes only come. I'm actually surprised it's coming every 2 years here, but, sometimes it's not for a really long time. So it may be something totally out of your mind. You don't think about having to, have a plan for. But so, sit down and really think about how that could play out. And then also look at your liability insurance too, or your general coverage, and make sure that you have things in place to be able to recoup that money if you need to, if worst case scenario came. Everyone in Florida and I guess even Southeast Georgia, stay safe and have a great weekend.